LadyChann rep nonetheless, and welcome to the Crawford v Porter show, where we'll be chopping it up with some special guests and you guys on the panel, some predictions, and yeah, we just saw the weigh-in. So yeah, Paul Evans in the building, my guy. My phone's popping. People be texting. Lip gloss not popping. Hang on there. It's a bit booby today, but hey, that's what it is. Girls got boobs, eh? Hang on. Okay, let me just shout out Paul Evans in the building, AJ in the building, Ronald Finkley in the building, Charlo in the building. Okay, so we are going to be introducing the knowledge, aka Spencer Fearon. What got me charge? There.
What go on, sis? You good?
You just woke up. No, yeah, I'm good, babe. I'm always good. As long as I'm breathing, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So we're gonna be chopping it up about. You didn't see the weigh-in, did you?
Nah, man. I didn't see the weigh-in. I go watch that in the morning.
Yeah.
I've had a long week.
I know. I've seen it. All good works, though. You know.
Yeah. I mean, got to big up Miss Naz Shah, who from the politician from the Labour Party. I'm so tired, but it's only because you phoned me. I said, "Cha."
I meant to wake up. I knew. God said he's sleeping. God said,
let me just jump on. No, I'm gonna jump on. I'll give you a little 2 minutes on my prediction, and I'm going right back to my bed.
Hang on, my mic's not even plugged in. 1 sec. Lord God. All this time I'm there talking into the mic. I probably did my last live with no mic then. There you go.
I can't hear you now, sis. Can't hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
All right, so some mic difficulties. Won't use the mic. We'll use the lappy. Yeah. Are we? Are we on the wrong one? Let me see. 1 second. Okay, we got Mal in the building. I'm having some technical difficulties. Don't know if I've sent the wrong link. Some people saying they're backstage. I can't see them. Can you hear me, Mal?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Let me make sure. Sorry. 1 sec. Cool. I don't know, my mic was unplugged, and when you plug it back in, it doesn't want to adjust. It was off, and it just throws it all off. So it don't matter.
Everybody's in the chat though.
I don't know. Yeah. My mic was unplugged, and when you plug it back in, it doesn't
hear
want to.
me. Yeah.
Everyone's in the chat waiting for people. So let's just shout out. Mal, do you want to shout out people while I sort out? Can you do that at the same time?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
Shout out to Paul Evans. What's going on, fam? You know, we in the building. Yes, sir. I'm over here, the coach over here, man. We rocking. Shout out to, as a matter of fact, let me do this. Shout out to Paul Evans, man.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my main man, my brother Diallo Huggy Bear.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Roland Curtis.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Graham Taylor.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to, I forgot about Ava. Shout out to Ava as well, Paul.
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Ghost. What's happening, bro?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to Philly Fly. What the lick read, baby?
Hey, okay.
Shout out to my brother Charlo. What's happening? What's happening, fam?
Hey, okay.
And I think that's it. I think that's all we got right now.
Okay. We've got where is he gone? Hang on.
Why does this look let's go. Audio's fine. Okay. My main man, look at Julius. Yes,
Julius and Ben. Sorry, Benny, it was my fault. I could hear you. You couldn't hear me. It was some mic dysfunction. I had the mic off, and it doesn't like being turned on halfway through. So
yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we back in the building. So this is some of the guests that we've got. Thanks for joining me, Julius. Thanks for joining me, Spenny Ranks, over the river and over the banks.
So Julius been busy, man.
Yeah, man.
I gotta come on his show, man.
I know.
I'll be on my best behavior.
I got to check it out as well. I've been checking out some of the interviews. I've got to do it all in its entirety. Great interviews, my G. So Spenny, what are you saying? What are you saying with this fight? Let's hear ya.
I think that Terence Crawford's going to be the first man to stop Shawn Porter, and that's just me giving my opinion. I think Shawn Porter is a live wire and a very, very good fighter, very underrated fighter as well. I think he's a very good fighter. He's got good lateral movement. He's got good hands as well. But I just think there's something special in Terence Crawford. And I just quickly watched the weigh-in as well, as you said that, and looking at the height of him, and I think he'll be able to. He's a very, very good inside fighter for a guy who's tall and rangy, and yeah. So I'm gonna think like I'm looking at maybe a late round stoppage, but I could also see Terence Crawford getting hurt by Shawn Porter, but nothing major. But I could see him getting hurt. Similarly to like when Kavaleskis knocked him down, and he didn't, and it wasn't scored a knockdown, but it was a knockdown. So, but I think we're dealing with a different entity right now with Terence Crawford. And I begrudgingly say that because I know Shawn Porter is a good guy, but I'm just giving my opinion to be real. I'm pretty tight with Kenny as well. He's dead, but I'm just saying how it is, man. I believe that I could see a late round stoppage for the favor of Terence Crawford. That's how I see it.
Even though that Porter has never been stopped, why do you see Brad being able to do it?
Because he can box quite comfortably southpaw and orthodox, and he's got pop in his shots. But I still think this is going to be his hardest battle he's ever had at 147, because Shawn Porter has had ample time to prepare for this fight. Shawn Porter isn't an over the hill fighter, but he's not at his best. But he's still current. He's still current. He's still relevant. So I got. That's why I see it the way I see it.
Okay, so you've got it as a late round. Can you give us a round, like within 2 rounds, like 8 to 10 or 9 to 11 or 10 to 12?
Anything I would say. Anything from about round 9. From round 9 onwards, I reckon late stoppage. But what I do know is that Shawn Porter's gonna come and give it to him. He's gonna come and give it to him because he's got a very, very good body attack. But do I think that he hits hard enough to deter Terence? No, I think he could sting him a couple times, but I don't think. I think like what Terence Crawford needs this fight to really make a big statement, and you can see just by looking at the weigh-in and looking at the eye contact that he was doing there, they're both up for this fight, and that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. But I think that Bud Crawford is more multifaceted, but that's not me taking away anything from Shawn Porter, because Shawn Porter's a warrior. So we're gonna see some questions are gonna be asked, but I still got Terence winning the fight. And on that note, my people, big up everyone in the room and that. I'm bounced. I can't go to my bed.
I know.
You look sleep.
Thanks, Benny.
But bless up, yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I think
keep it on
tomorrow.
Keep it on Lady Chann's thing, man. I mean, I'm feeling my sister from another mister. Bless up. Later.
Salute. Right, on to Ring IQ in the building. Mi cariño, ¿todo bien? ¿Cómo estás?
Aquí en lo mismo, cansadito. A great fight, but Malachi, we talked about this yesterday on the round table, and obviously my opinion hasn't changed. The more I think about the fight, it might be one-sided.
Yeah.
The way I see it, I keep thinking of the Felix Diaz fight, and I think that this fight is going to be akin to that fight, but Porter's stronger, Porter's tougher. So I think it's going to take more work to put him away than it took to put away Felix Diaz. But I have Crawford moving and punching and walking him into hooks, walking him into uppercuts. I don't see it any other way. Crawford's stoppage, maybe round 7 or 8. It could be a TKO. Maybe the ref stops it, waves it off. Or maybe Kenny throws the towel.
What? Really? A towel throw-in?
I could see that. If he keeps getting hit, and he can't defend himself, if he keeps getting hit with clean shots, Porter's at the end of his career. There has to be something left of him for after boxing. And if Kenny sees that this man is getting hit with a lot of shots, more shots than usual, and it's just one-sided, I could definitely see a towel getting thrown. It's his son, after all.
Yeah, it is his son, after all. Wow, these predictions are something that I didn't think of. Absolutely didn't think of. Do you think there's going to be any like knockdowns though?
Yes, I could see Shawn lunging in and getting caught with a check hook or maybe an uppercut and going down, because it's kind of consistent with him. It's happened in the past. You know, it happened in the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Broner knocked him down. You know, I could see it happening. I remember the Granados fight, And it was weird in that fight because you have two pressure fighters, one who's accustomed to dealing with bigger guys and one who's like from 140 around there, Granados. And Porter gave him a lot of respect. And Porter also gave Ugas a lot of respect. And I'm like, listen, Ugas is cool. Granados is cool. But these guys ain't Bud. They're not as accurate as Bud. They're not ambidextrous like Bud. And I don't view anybody at welterweight of the previous crop of welterweights as being on the level of Terence Crawford. Nobody. Not Errol Spence. Not before the car accident. Certainly not after it. I think Crawford's in a league by himself.
Yeah. And what would a loss mean? Because we've been seeing a series of upsets. So nothing is going to shock me, but it still would shock me if Bud loses. Where does this take Bud? Because obviously, what does he have? The WBO belt, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if he lost, that would be a major, because that means Shawn gets to take that WBO title back over to PBC and defend it against, you know, who they got over there. So that really would be something if Crawford lost. But that being said, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. So are we at the understanding that Crawford's got more to lose than Porter?
Certainly, because Crawford's the pound for pound darling. Crawford's the reigning champion. Crawford's the 3-division unbeaten champion. There's just more on the line and more at stake for him than Shawn. Shawn has already been in there with Brooke, with Thurman, with Danny, with Ugas, with Errol. He's been in there with everybody. So at this point, he's at the tail end of his career. He's already known for being a durable guy, but we know he's on the back nine. You know, he's done everything there is to do, fought everyone there is to fight, save Crawford, who he's fighting on Saturday. And I guess what makes Shawn dangerous is that he has nothing to lose. There's nothing for him to lose. He's fought everybody. Right. So there's more on the line for Crawford than there is for Shawn.
Ooh. So yeah. So are you not prepared for an upset at all?
Are we ever?
Now I think I am. Starting from AJ running up to what we saw in the card last week.
Chan, AJ was conceivable. AJ was conceivable. It was conceivable that he could lose that fight.
Yeah, still an upset.
Kiko beating Kid Galahad. That's an upset. I'm like, I couldn't even imagine that Kid was going to lose. I thought Kid had that fight in the bag. All you got to do is move and punch. That's what he good at. That's all you got to do.
Me too. And then we saw Baumgardner, who you had on your show last night, causing a big upset against Terry Harper. That was a massive upset. So this is what I'm saying. There's a run. Things happen in threes. So, you know, the AJ, even though you don't count it as an upset, things went pear-shaped there. He thought he could outbox the boxer. Then that card that we just spoke about, that's the second set of upsets. Everything runs in threes.
Well, we got the 3 major upsets, Chan. And I don't consider the AJ one an upset because for me, it was conceivable that he could lose the first fight. But Sandor Martin, Mikey Garcia. That's an upset.
Yeah, that was one as well. That was crazy.
Jamal James versus Radzav Butaev. Second upset. I believe that Baumgardner versus Harper is not an upset to me because once again, I felt that, Alicia might be able to knock her out. The third upset was Martinez Galahad. Like, bro, if Zelfa Barrett was able to win a decision, right, that he didn't deserve, but he got it, you know? Yeah. I figured Kid Galahad should be able to do better than that. And he was for a little while, but he got caught. He's
in the Buster Douglas club. One and done.
Yeah.
First title defense and you lose. It's one and done. That's not the club that you want to be in. This is what I'm saying. So hopefully Bud, this isn't his first title. This isn't his first title defense at this weight. But I mean, it would be like one and done because this is his first kind of elite fighter on his resume as such.
Well, I mean, I think me and Malachi agree on this, right? You know, he fought an Olympic gold medalist in Gamboa. Similar situation. Not identical, but similar. Then he fought another gold medalist in Felix Diaz. Similar situation. Not identical, but similar. Shawn is just more durable than those guys, but the dynamic is the same. So where you got a shorter fighter who's got to stay off the line, come forward, get close to you, and try to hook off. Crawford's been there and done that, but has Shawn ever fought an ambidextrous switch hitter that can land power shots off the back foot? No, I haven't seen that. So I'm pretty confident Terence is going to get it done.
And where do you see the success of Shawn having some success? Because you know he runs in with his head. You know, he could give you a couple windmill punches. Where do you see any success of what he could gain over Crawford?
Well,
if any?
Terence normally takes about 2-3 rounds to get into a rhythm and download what he needs to download. So if Shawn's going to pick up rounds, I imagine it'll probably be within the first 3 to first 4, while Terence is just figuring out his range and what he can hit him with. I figure Shawn will probably have a little early lead, maybe 2 rounds or something like that. But once round 4 gets there, that's when I feel you're going to start seeing Shawn getting hit with some nasty stuff. That's when I feel Crawford's going to switch on, because he always takes the first 2 or 3 rounds off.
Yep. And so you've got him basically stopping Porter.
Yes.
Wow. What round? Here's a round.
I mean, this is less analytical and more gut feeling for me. My gut tells me 7-8, but I could be wrong. That could be gas.
7-8. Wow, that's quite early.
Crawford's a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude. He's always been a bad dude. He's gonna keep being a bad dude.
Yeah. Did you see the weigh-in?
He looked angry.
He looked angry. He was like, "There's no friendship here." Like, I think Porter looked serious as well. He looked serious, but Bud was just like, Bud looked small. He came in at 146. I just missed what Porter came in at. Did he come on the button at 147?
I didn't see that, but I took a look at the
He came in at 146.6. Bud came in at 146. They came in at 146.
Okay. And now they go to rehydrate. What do you reckon when they step into the ring, what they rehydrate to? What do you reckon?
I've heard Bud can weigh as heavy as 160. So, I mean, this ain't the IBF. There's no weight cap. They can walk in there, whatever. You know what I mean? Shawn might walk in there 160 or some crazy shit. Terence might walk in there 160, though. To me, ultimately, this is a fight that Terence gets up for. He wasn't happy with the Brooks situation, wasn't happy with Khan. Those were all appetizers. This is a main course for Crawford. So if he's that mean-spirited and vicious in keep busy fights, what is he going to be in a fight that he's actually wanted? Like, you're a PBC welter. You're the kind of guy they say I'm avoiding. I'm going to make a statement against you. And that's what I'm expecting, a statement.
Yeah. Okie dokes. Thanks for that, Julius. Massively appreciated. You can either choose to hang out or you can jet. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna step out. I actually got to do another live.
You got another live. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming through. Mwah.
Hey, hold on. Let's give our brother Julius, man. I watch this dude stuff every day.
Every day. About 4 times a day. Like.
I appreciate that. All right, just a boxing fan. I'll see y'all.
On the other side.
Bye, Ray.
Adios. Let me just say this super chat. Mal, do the super chat thing. Will Lynch, go ahead. Come here. Mal's always my co-pilot. I use his
shout out to Will Lynch.
Stickiest of the
sorry about that. Wrong sound effect.
Old boy Rick James.
Shout out to Will Lynch.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on LadyChann.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime is over, boy.
Will Lynch, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. If hypothetically speaking, Porter wins, what does that do for his career? He's fought just about everyone at 147. I'm just curious. That is a good question. I think, well, that would make him 2-time or 3-time world champ, wouldn't it? What would it do for his career? I mean, he would have to then go on to, it would extend his career because he would then have to go on to defend his title. He would have the WBO belt. Then Spencer's got the WBC and the IBF, I believe. And then Ugas has the WBA. Wow, it would be, they'd have to do some title eliminators and see who's fighting who. That would be very interesting. It'd be very sad for Bud because he would basically fall into obscurity. There'd probably be not much of a way for him to get back that belt. You have to bear in mind he is 34, I believe. So yeah, it would be good for Shawn's career. But
Yeah, I don't know, Shan. I gotta interrupt, but allow me
go
to
ahead,
introduce
King.
myself. My name
My
is
name
King.
is Hove. No, I'm joking.
Yo, King Amin of Essex, one on Instagram, King Amin of Essex, one on YouTube, championship rounds. Just here to shed my little knowledge, my little insight on the situation. But I hear you talking crazy. You said if Bud loses, he goes into obscurity. And what happened to Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia is still running around talking about he going up to 154. And similar. See, the only difference between Danny Garcia and Errol Spence is Danny Garcia only difference between Danny Garcia and Shawn Porter is that Danny Garcia won that fight between the two of them, but they both kind of the dud man of the division. Danny a little flashier because he has the win between the two of them, but Danny's been making a living off of, losing to the best at 147. Shawn Porter made his living off of being competitive against the best at 147. So, Terence Crawford, I get people might not say he ain't made that type of living at 147 that those others have made, but I don't think he goes into obscurity with a loss to Porter. If he lost to somebody else at 147, that's different. Losing to Porter at 147, that might just say he don't belong. Maybe he's more on Boots or Virgil Ortiz. Strictly hypothetical, we talking. Because this ain't got nothing to do with my prediction, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're just answering the question. I disagree because at the end of the day, I think Buddy's got too much pride to become a Danny Garcia, to be honest. He would lose. The Spence fight would just be, even if we're not really getting it now, at least there's some kind of push for it. That would be down the drain. Spence would be relieved that he didn't have to fight him. So I don't think Bud would like to be a Danny Garcia. What would be left to fight? Yeah, there'd be a Boots Ennis. Where would he have his big paydays? Who would really want to re-sign him now for the latter part of his career? That's what you got to think about, coming off a loss from this will be deemed as a big loss. So where his leverage would be minimal.
One loss and we throwing him away, huh?
No, I'm not throwing him away, but we're in today's boxing. You know what that means. It doesn't mean we throw him away, but some fighters, once they take a loss, they can happily be in that plateau period and fight like Danny Garcia. Will Bud want to be a Danny Garcia? That's my point. Undisputed at 143 weight world champ. Will he just want to then become like a gatekeeper as such? I don't think so.
And, unfortunately, that kind of has been the history at 147 for Amir Khan and Danny Garcia, and hopefully not for Bud Crawford, But we'll see what happens, man.
Let's do your prediction then. Tell me, I'm solo laying you out. What is your prediction?
Listen, I don't have Terence Crawford winning by stoppage, but I do have him winning a fight. It's some things that Porter can do that could make the fight difficult, but I think Bud Crawford is different, and yeah, we make jokes about him fighting crab and lobsters and some of the guys he's fought, but I mean, this is really his opportunity to fight the bouncer. And I was trying to figure out his name. What's that famous doorman from the UK in the 90s? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I can't remember. Who's that?
Ted or Tom something. My point is that I'm pretty sure in the UK, like the doorman, from what I understand, he controlled the vibe and the flow of the club. And Shawn Porter is the doorman. And I say that respectfully. So if Bud beats him, which he will by decision, I don't know if either of them touch the canvas, but it's going to be a good fight, and Terence Crawford's going to win. And I hope that this allows him, on moving forward to make better decisions. Definitely not with Top Rank, because you don't go through a fight like this and then go back over the Top Rank and then start fighting the likes of guys that we've never heard of. So I'm hoping that this is like the start of something different. I got him winning. And look, the loss don't do nothing to Shawn Porter either. Nobody's going to ask Shawn Porter to hang it up or go into obscurity. If he loses, they're going to say, see, he'll be the Buffalo Bills. Somebody said it yesterday. He'll be the Buffalo Bills. He'll be this close again. and nobody will shame him for that. So I'm just not inclined for people to react the same way if a miracle, a whole milagro happened, and Porter somehow beats Bud Crawford. I don't know.
Yeah, he won't but you have to remember that Bud's got way more to lose than Porter. So if Porter loses, it's like we're used to Porter losing at this point too. Once he steps up, he's lost, hasn't he? So if he loses again, it's to arguably of one of the top 3 pound for pounders. He doesn't lose anything. He doesn't lose any leverage. That's his career. Maybe he might want to fight, like you say, and be a gatekeeper. Maybe that will be for him to do, but he's got a career as a commentator. He's got his podcast, so I don't think it's the same scale. I think that Bud has way more to lose than Porter. So that's why you can't give it the same kind of analogy, just in my opinion.
But are we clear in saying that this win, if Crawford pulls this off, no matter by stoppage or decision, like this is a big win and this puts him right there in that conversation? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, if Bud wins or Porter wins?
Yeah.
If Bud wins. This is a great win for Bud because everybody argues and downgrades his resume, and tells him, you don't fight nobody. You don't fight nobody. So him winning definitely puts him at the round of applause, and hopefully he can become undisputed at 47, clean up all these belts, which I believe that if whatever Spence is doing, once Spence comes back, those belts are gone. It will go to a purse bid because he's going to need to sell those 2 belts to the highest bidder because they are going. PBC is losing fighters, and then if he fights Ugas, who's Ugas under? I don't know who he's under, but that belt will be gone. Let's just have it right. He's not even in the league of a Bud Crawford. He's probably not. We saw Porter fight Ugas.
This is what I'm saying.
That was a close fight.
Very close fight. And if we always going off degrees of separation, like this is what I'm saying. Ugas, he off of Pacquiao and the draw to Porter, we can't keep saying Ugas ain't. Ugas is. He has to be. He has to be. And he's right there in the mix. And that's what I love. That's why I call the welterweight division the nexus of the boxing universe. It's truly the crossroads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really have to come to terms with where you're going to be as far as establishing yourself. You a lightweight guy, you got to learn how to control your nutrition and your discipline. Or if you can't, you struggle at making weight, you usually go up. But it's really where, the depth in both directions seem to spread itself, man. So, this is going to be the talk of the town, and it has a lot of residual impact. You know what I'm saying? We heard that the WBC cleared Earl Spence. That's why, I keep getting those Freudian slips. I keep saying Spence, because he's back in the mix now. So yeah, I'm gonna say his name.
Right.
Yeah, man, this is exciting times. The only person we looking for on the milk carton is Mr. Thurman, man. He cut that ponytail and went in witness protection. I don't know what the fuck he got going on.
Yeah. Can I just introduce a special guest? I'm introducing the former 2-time heavyweight champion of the world and undisputed Hasim Rock Rahman. Yay, Rock!
What's good? What's good?
Salute, champ.
What's happening?
What's good,
Thank you for joining. I love you, Rock. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. I know you're busy. You're always busy. You be in the gym, staying busy for yourself and the children, the mini Rocks. I just needed your prediction on Porter and Crawford and why, who, when, how, what round. Let me know. Let's go.
My prediction?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with an upset.
Ooh.
I think Porter going to win a majority decision. And I think Terence Crawford I just haven't seen enough for him at welterweight. I seen Porter go through everything at welterweight. So I got to go with what I know instead of what my heart tell me or what I seen from Crawford at smaller weights. I just think Shawn got enough dog in him to eke out a majority decision. I think he's gonna be the right side of the majority decision this time.
So it's going the distance. How do you see Porter outboxing Bud? Like, who's the better boxer?
Crawford's the better boxer, but Shawn Porter don't really box. He go in there and try to mug people.
Yeah,
And he be in tremendous shape, and he just do his mugging thing all night long. So he gonna keep the pressure on him. He gonna throw 100 punches around, and just gonna make it an ugly fight. He gonna fight the boxer. He can't outbox Shawn Porter, so he won't. He's just gonna make it ugly and get aggressive, stay in his chest, and throw shots from everywhere.
and
Y'all all saying Shawn Porter fight. Y'all know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a brawl. But do you see anybody getting knocked down? Do you see any knockdowns happening in the fight?
I don't. I actually don't. I just think it's gonna be an action-packed fight, and I think Shawn gonna be on the right side of the majority decision this time. I mean, he fought everybody at welterweight. Terence Crawford is a magnificent fighter. He did his thing at 130, 35, 40. Now I just think he run into a top contender at 147, and I just think experience stands for something. It means something. Shawn been in the trenches over and over and over with the top guys at welterweight. This really Terrence's first ball game like that. This is his first rodeo.
Yeah. And what would it mean if Porter wins? What would it mean for Porter going forward?
I mean, well, he'd be a 3-time champion. I think that he solidified himself as one of the top welterweights. I think he put a stamp on it. He already really is one of the top welterweights, but I just think this is a big boost for his career, and when he's retired, what it could possibly mean for him.
And what will the loss of if Bud loses, what will that do to his career?
I think the loser of this fight, I think they have to fight somebody like a Virgil Ortiz or a Boots Ennis to see if they really, going to be a gatekeeper, or they really, can get right back into contention.
Could you
they
see
gotta do something tough?
Could you see Bud wanting to be a gatekeeper? Because I don't.
You said what?
Could you see Bud wanting and willing to be a gatekeeper if he loses? Because I don't.
Well, I think they have to fight somebody significant. And I think if they fight a Virgil Ortiz or a Boots Ennis and lose, they're gonna be relegated to gatekeeper status. As simple as that.
Or retirement.
I don't think that's in the with one loss for Bud Crawford, I don't think he would be ready to retire. I think he's gonna want to prove himself. I think he's gonna want to get back in there, and I think that the loser of this fight should fight somebody like Boots Ennis or Virgil Ortiz to prove that they're elite at this time. And if they can't beat those guys, then maybe it's time for retirement.
So if Porter wins, would you say that he should not try and clear up the rest of the belts, or does he have to fight Boots and
no? The winner should go for the rest of the belt. I'm not saying the winner should fight Boots or Virgil. I'm saying the loser the loser has everything to prove. The winner has nothing to prove.
Got you. So you're going for a majority decision upset with Porter winning.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Rock. I know you're so busy. Thank you. Massively appreciated. You will be on
no problem. Back on. I got to be somewhere in 30, 40 minutes.
34. Yeah. The English
All right, bye-bye.
40 minutes. Bye.
Right.
See you later. Love you, Rock. Bye. 40 minutes. He always keeps mocking my accent, because I said to him earlier, got to be ready in 30 or 40 minutes. And he went 30 or 40. Yeah, big up. That was, as you know, Rock's prediction, going for the upset. Wow. Let's go to Coach Malachi Williams from New Media Today, USA Boxing. You saw the What did you get from the weigh-in first and foremost?
All right, first and foremost, what I got from the weigh-in, it looks like both men are ready. It looks like Terence Crawford looks angry. He looks like the way he looked at Shawn Porter was like he was an enemy of his. I don't even like he didn't even know this guy. It just looked different from yesterday and today. He had an evil look on his face to me. But care nothing about the weigh-ins. It is what it is. I'm gonna give you my pick. I'm gonna be nice and sweet, nice and quick. You talked about the upsets. Upsets. Joshua got losing to Usyk is not an upset. Joshua was not really heavily favored to win that fight. Everybody knew Usyk was pound for pound. It was, not one pound for pound.
Maybe it was just upsetting. It wasn't an upset. Yeah.
That fight. That wasn't an upset pick. That wasn't an upset. So, but you see, I don't see what Rockman sees. I got Crawford stopping this dude in about the 10th or 11th round. Think he's gonna pretty much have his way with him. That's what I have. I don't see an upset. I think the upset is going to happen. The people who betted money on on Porter are going to be upset that they betted money on him. And another thing they talk about, this is going to be Terence Crawford's hardest fight. Well, guess what? This is going to be Shawn Porter's hardest fight.
Right.
It's not like it's going to be one way. Like Shawn Porter, it's going to be the hardest fight for Bud, but then it's going to be an easy cake and no, it's going to be Shawn Porter's hardest fight. He's going to see. He's not fighting Spence. He's not fighting a flat-footed guy who you can just turn and spin. No, you ask for this. I'm not worried. Listen, I'm not nervous. Like when I seen Joshua fight Usyk, I was like, it is what it is with that. I was a little nervous on that. Wasn't nervous about the Fury fight because I knew man, Fury gonna beat this dude. But this fight right here, I am not nervous, worried at all. He gonna come in there with that bulldog and shit, and head down and all of that stuff there. And listen, he gonna run into a whole lot of shots. I see him getting stopped. Also, you say if Crawford loses, he would go into obscurity. I don't believe so, but I'm not even thinking about that. He's not. I don't believe he's gonna lose. I think he's gonna get Buddy out of there. He's gonna get Shawn Porter out of there.
We got to think both ways. We got to think both ways. We got to be. This is the sport of boxing, Mal. We love, as you know. Crawford is my other favorite fighter. I've only got two favorite fighters, and one's Joshua and one's Crawford. And when I saw Joshua lose, like for me, anything can happen. Nothing can injure me as such. Do you know what I mean? It's just like we're here to see both sides. I know you're saying that you think Crawford will win, but
are you asking me my prediction, or are you asking me to look at it from both sides?
That's your prediction. But also, like I've asked the other guests, what happens if Bud loses? Because you said you don't see him going into obscurity. Do you see him wanting to be a gatekeeper?
No. I don't think no fighter wants to be a gatekeeper. I think if he loses, that's just one fight. I could throw a question back at you. Shawn Porter got 3 losses. Did he go off into obscurity?
No, he didn't. But Shawn Porter and Bud Crawford are two different entities. Not every personality is the same. Some fighters will just they've got too much pride to be a gatekeeper, and some fighters don't mind. At the end of the day, he's 34 years old. Will he be in title contention anytime soon? If so, that would he'd probably be 37, 38 by the time they do all of this rigmarole with all the alphabets. I'd love to still see him fight. Of course, I'm not throwing him away. I'm just saying of what I've gauged from Bud Crawford and his personality, I don't see him just wanting to fight the lower tier lads just for the sake of it. Maybe I'd see him go to 54 and straight after, if he did lose, straight after this loss, go up to 54 and then attack 54 and see if he can become a champ at 54, which I believe he could, and possibly undisputed. I'm just saying if he loses, I don't think there's any more work for him at 47, in my opinion, because everybody is tied up with belts. Errol Spence, Ugas, Porter, so I really don't see it him continuing at 47. But Shawn Porter, like I said, he's lost before. It doesn't really dent him as such. But I just wanted to see do you see any knockdowns happening? And if so, who from and who by? Or
I see Porter getting knocked down about 2 or 3 times before he gets stopped. I disagree with the obscurity if Crawford loses. I just disagree with you on that.
You don't
But
think he could just go to 54 and attack 54 instead?
yeah, I mean, he probably can do that. But for me to sit back and do a whole bunch of hypotheticals, like
Well,
he can go,
That's what we do.
yeah, but what I'm trying to answer your question. Like he move up to 54. I don't know what he would do. I don't know, to be honest with you. So I mean,
I'm just thinking of routes and avenues. That's all.
He has options at 154. This is his last. 147. This is his last contract under Top Rank. So when you're a free agent, this is your last contract under Top Rank. I don't think someone like an Al Heyman, where the other PPC fighters are at, I want to be like, oh man, we're going to throw him away. He's going to be in obscurity, this and that. No one. He's got to start back from the bottom. I don't see that, because you have several examples of that. Shawn Porter never went into obscurity. They didn't throw him away. Danny Garcia did not go into obscurity. But but you're trying to say because of Crawford's pride, in your opinion, from what you're seeing on the outside.
I'm just saying from opinion, and I'm just thinking if he does lose, where's the most viable route for him to take? That's why I'm training to be an analyst. So I'm trying to put not feelings in front of where I could see things could go. All I'm saying is, in my opinion, if it's not, I don't see him wanting to be a gatekeeper at 47 at the age of 34, 35. So my opinion is that he'd either fall into obscurity and think, fuck it, I don't want to do 47 and I don't want to do boxing, or fuck it, I'm going to go to 54. Some of these cats will be coming up to 54, i.e. Spence anyway. You never know, Porter may come up to 54. But that's where it's going to be a bit more viable for him to start from the beginning and clean up 54, which I think he can do more than 47. All the belts, like Philly Fly said, would then be on PBC side. It would just, even if PBC signed him, he wouldn't be in title contention for years. So for me, just looking at it, I'm going to 54 to clean up 54, leave these guys at 47, and I'll deal with 54. Then I'll be a 4-weight world champ anyway, and that would be more viable than starting all over the beginning at 47. I just don't see it, in my opinion, at the age of 34. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. Mal loves Bud Crawford.
Like, I'm letting you talk because I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you can. This is the
I don't want to interrupt you. So
I'm going to interrupting show. You know me. I interrupt everyone else like I just did to you now. So go ahead, you can do it back.
All right. So now, I always like to let people talk before I say anything. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with him going into obscurity. If he loses to Porter, he can still go to the PBC. He's still a top fighter. I don't believe that one fighter, because he loses, he will go into obscurity off of his first fight. He's 37-0. He'll be 37-1. He can still go to the PBC. And if he wants to become undisputed, all of the belts will still be on that side. He can still fight those guys. Maybe he can fight an Ugas next. Maybe Errol Spence still will want to fight
Ugas next. He wouldn't be in title contention to fight Ugas. This is my
what are you basing that on? You're saying that as though that's an actual fact. And what are you basing that on? Because
in order for him to fight Ugas, he would have to be like the WBA first in line to fight Ugas. Like, he would have to be the WBA #1 Mando, which he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be the IBF #1 Mando. He wouldn't be the WBC Mando either. So they're busy. Those lads are busy with the belts to try and either become undisputed. If Spence comes through, beats who he has to beats Ugas, he is again.
Wait a minute, Chan. Hold up, Chan. Hold up. Now that's kind of wrong, because Wilder's coming off 2 losses. He's a WBC #1 contender. So
yes, I know,
that's kind of wrong.
That's
kind of wrong. That doesn't mean that.
Wrong. That's wrong, but that's not the right place where he's supposed to be. And with the
doesn't matter where he's supposed to be. I'm just telling you where he is.
With the WBC being under the eye at the minute, I don't think they're going to be able to bamboozle, just put in. They don't care about Bud as much as they do about Wilder. Wilder is in their opinion, a draw. Wilder makes them more money off sanctioning fees. It makes it Wilder is PBC, who were in the WBC's pocket. So I just don't see them. No, Shelton, it's too loud. It's too loud. I don't see them putting Bud at number one. If they do, then we'll wait and see, and then that will be a way for Bud to come back into title contention. Yeah, I get it, but I just don't see it. Like, they don't have to fight him anymore if he doesn't got a belt. That's just my opinion. But go ahead, Mal, because Shelton interrupted this time.
Okay, so I get your point. I get your opinion. I just disagree with it.
Yeah,
and that's it. And that's it. So
yeah,
I feel the total opposite of you. So other than that, that's it. That's all I really have to say. My prediction is I got Crawford winning, stopping him. If he loses, I know you're saying the upsets come in threes. Joshua wasn't an upset. That was more of a 50-50 fight than anything.
There was a lot of people. Garcia, there's already been three already.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia. That, but I'm saying, but the major fights this year, I don't know any major fights where there've been an upset. Like Fury was favored against Wilder. He finished him. Canelo was heavily favored against Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. And Crawford is a 7-1 favorite over Porter. And I just, so other than that, that's it. But like major fights, I know the Kid Callahan and stuff like that, that Martinez, that was a good fight. But I'm saying like on the major scale, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't. But this is gonna be a damn good fight. This is gonna be Porter's hardest fight. If it's gonna be Crawford's hardest fight, there's no way this fight can be Crawford's hardest fight and not be Porter's hardest fight. Right. You know what I mean? Because the brain some ass, you got to get some ass. You know what I mean? Well, to get some ass, you got to brain some ass. He got to do that.
Go ahead, Shelton.
I'm finna head into work, y'all. So I'm gonna give you my prediction right quick.
Go ahead.
I saw that weigh-in, and once I saw that weigh-in, my money's secure. All the bets I got out, I'm gonna collect on them. This guy ain't making it past the 8th round.
Got you.
He gonna get knocked out. He gonna get beat up. This is not gonna end well.
Right. Any knockdowns happening within the fight?
Maybe 2 or 3. Porter might go down, like Coach said, 2 or 3 times before he gets stopped, but he's getting stopped. The Bud Crawford I saw today, the way I've never seen Crawford look like that in any other fight. I've never seen him look through a person like that. I saw the weigh-in, and that's all I need to see. I don't need to hear the post weigh-in commentary. I don't need to hear none of that. Porter's in trouble. This is not gonna end well. But y'all have a great night. I'm finna head into work.
Thanks, Shelton.
No problem. And this is gonna be a great night of boxing. I'll catch y'all Sunday.
Yeah, you will do.
All right.
Oh, you'll catch us tomorrow. We're on the live.
Yeah. I don't get off until 12:45 in the morning, so I'll catch y'all Sunday.
Okay.
Y'all will be asleep by the time I get off.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Kisses. Bye. Love you.
May I go next?
Yes, of course you can.
Your dog, LadyChann. Okay. How can I strategize this? All right. So my prediction and my how I think the fight will go. The first 2, maybe 3 rounds, 4 rounds, Bud is going to try to figure out Shawn, his rhythm. The fight may be close. Shawn, I mean, actually, I agree with, Coach Malachi when he said that this is going to be both both fighters' toughest fights. I believe that. I believe Shawn is going to give Bud fits for a few rounds, maybe the early rounds, but into the mid rounds, maybe 4, 5, 6. Bud is going to start to settle in and, just basically probably work out Shawn's style. I'm going to time him because, how Shawn fights is just tailor made for Bud, I mean, I think Bud just has a variety of ways and, that he could deal with, Shawn's style, picking him off with hooks, uppercuts. He's strong in the clinch as well. I believe he's very underrated. He has great physical strength. That's not looked at enough, and I think just Bud is a better boxer in fight. And he has dog, just like Shawn does in him too, He's no mug, you can't just steamroll this guy. And along with, I saw the weigh-in, both guys look prime, prepped, ready, but Bud stood out more in terms of how he looked. He's ripped to shreds. He's in great shape, kind of better shape than I think he was in for his last 2 fights, in the Brook fight and the Kavaliauskas fight. I think he's in better shape for this fight, so he's ready. And prime prep ready to go. Can't wait for the fight, man. It's going to be awesome. And and how Bud looked at Shawn, it kind of scared me a bit. You know what I mean? He really looks like he wants to go out there and put on a performance. He wants to make an example. You know,
So
so
is
he's,
it, sorry, sorry, I was looking at the chat. Is it a stoppage or is it distance for you?
oh yeah, I'm getting to it. Sorry.
Oh, no, you hadn't said it. No worries. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Trust me. I mean, it's just I'm just voicing all my thoughts.
Yeah, I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, he looks like he's ready to go out there and put on an example and do a job and just just not just win him on points. He looks like he wants to go for a stoppage. He wants to be the first one to stop Showtime Shawn Porter, and I think he could do it. So I'm wagering he'll stop Shawn mid to late rounds. It's hard to call, to be honest, because Shawn is durable. I mean, he's probably he's going to want to go out on the shield, like, and just like Ring IQ said earlier, he's got nothing to lose at this point. He really doesn't. So I mean, so if he loses again, it's hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to really look down on Shawn. He's been in there with the best guys, giving a tough fight to everybody he's lost to. And it was like a good example of this is funny because, like, I don't know if you guys remember the Kell Brook fight. When that happened, that was actually competitive for the first 2 rounds, and I think Brook might have won the first 2 rounds of that fight. Yeah. Then I mean, but after when the third round started, when Bud switched to southpaw, the fight almost immediately shifted to his favor. From the third round on, and the fourth round he caught Brook, and he was done. It was over. You know what I mean? That surprised me. I thought Brook. I expected Brook to last a while. I predicted Bud to stop him, but I thought he'd last longer.
I predicted that 4th round stoppage.
Did you really?
On the button, yeah, it's on my channel.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to go back and have a look.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh, you bang on the money.
Bang on the money. I wish I had a fucking betted.
Yeah, oh, yeah, shit. That's what I was about to say.
I know. I would have had money on the money. I would have had money. But yeah, so yeah.
The great fight for both guys. I can't wait to see it. And Bud looks like he's just switched on, man. He didn't say too much at the press conference. He just looks like he wants to show up and show out. And it's like I'm getting kind of scared. I hope he doesn't kill Shawn, man. I mean, he looks like he wants to kill him. I'm serious.
We're not friends. I want to tag you down a bit tighter. You said mid to late rounds. I want to give you like something a bit tighter. 6 to 8, 8 to 10.
Okay. I agree with Shelton's pick. I say 8 mid to rounds, and then like maybe 10, 11 late. That's what I'd say. But also, like, could I just get my take on what happens if he goes to 154?
Yep.
If he loses this fight, I can't really see him leaving the welterweight division. If he does, that's fine. I mean, I'm not really tripping with I don't even know if there's a rematch clause for this fight. There's a lot of options what he can do if he does lose. If there's a rematch clause, he'll probably exercise and fight Shawn again. If he doesn't, he could stay at welterweight. Have a few more fights there. And if he goes to 154, I don't really see that going well for him because not that he can't be, a top player. I think he can, but it's just that PBC has the run of the place, And if he does sign to the PBC, I don't really see that as beneficial for him because he can sign to them, but he can still be on the shelf because we know a lot of guys who are on there are inactive. A lot of guys from the same divisions don't fight each other. And, and the same thing could happen to him if he signs with him. So I don't think that would be a wise move if he were to sign to the PBC. I don't think he should. I mean, I think, he's having contractual issues with Top Rank already.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, like, they're through the room, and this is going to be his last fight with them. That's why I'm wondering if there's a rematch. That's why I'm wondering if there's a rematch clause. So, like, if there was, where would it take place? So
yeah, that's an interesting analogy. The reason why I say that I could see Bud going to 54, I had this notion in my head, and me being on the Boxing Voice, shout out to TBV and Lester Gibbs. I actually had the pleasure to speak to Bud's friend who's training him in the camp, Bernie the Boxer. And Bernie the Boxer said that Bud wouldn't mind going to 54.
Nice. Okay. So, well, okay. Yeah, I think he can be competitive. I like to see him. I like to see him. I like to see him with a lot of top guys at 54. If I'm being honest, Yeah. I mean, but I think if he goes there, he won't. He's going to find it hard. He's going to be in the same predicament he is now. He won't be able to secure a lot of fights.
Yeah, but he could start from. But at least he could not just be pandering around in 47. At least attempt somewhere in 54.
Because if he loses, it's kind of like a lose-lose for Terence. Like, people don't want to fight him now. If he lost, people really don't want to fight him. I mean, look what Lomachenko's dealing with after he lost to Tio. You know what I mean?
He would have Jamel Charlo up there.
But this is the thing, though. So if he goes to 54, guess who got all the belts at 54? PBC.
Yep, exactly. That's my point.
So it's the exact same thing.
So what happens if he wins then?
If he loses, he's going to be in obscurity because 147, no one has to fight him. So if he moves up to 154, guess what? He can be in obscurity because the guys at 154, those are they're controlled by the PBC, and they have all the belts. Jamel Charlo has 3 belts. Castaño has 1 belt. It's the same situation. So the way I see it, Crawford has everything to lose.
Yeah,
he knows
he's got to win this fight. He's got to win.
He knows that, and he said it. He knows that if I lose this fight, I lose everything. The critics are going to say he was right. That he wasn't nobody. This is his last fight on the contract under Top Rank. You know, it's not a rematch clause. He has everything to lose.
It's not the you know that there's not a rematch clause. You know that?
No, it's not a rematch clause. No.
Okay.
Winner takes all. So he for Porter is just another walk in the park. My career is solidified. You know, that's the way I see it. My career solidified, just another walk in the park. If I win, that's gonna be great for me. If I lose, so be it. But Crawford, kid, you ain't nobody. You ain't fought nobody. Don't nobody like you. If you lose, he has everything to lose. Everything.
You know, his unbeaten record, his title, all that, like just everything. I mean, and it's funny because like even if he wins, he still won't get credit. Go to Boxing News 24 on Monday. Go to Boxing News 24. That shit site on Monday. I mean, like the writers are gonna just they're gonna do a 180.
It's not credible. They're all subjective.
Well, watch. They're gonna do a 180 and be like, oh yeah, Shawn was washed up when they're picking him right now to beat him. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And this is Boxing 24. Boxing News 24 is a PBC ran.
It's a show. It's a show. It's a PBC show site. That's what I think it is. Like the writers. The writers are clearly being paid off by those guys. You know,
cool.
So
you know me, like I say, a lot of pressure on Crawford. I put my money on Crawford. I bet it on him. I'm not, and I don't think twice about it. I bet money on him, and that's it. You know,
I mean, this is an opportunity that Bud has been waiting for his entire career. Yeah, and he's going to relish. He's going to show up and show out.
Show up and show out. Thanks for that, AJ. Bold.
No problem.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Here again. Tell me, talk to me. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I got Bud winning by decision. And it depends because sometimes I think, you know, like Bud is my favorite fighter, right? But I have to say this, like, I think Bud sometimes get in his own way with his emotions. That is something true that Shawn Porter did say about Bud. Because when he went against Kell Brook, now don't get me wrong, Kell Brook has a wonderful jab and he could jab his ass off. Probably got the best jab in the division. But before the fight happened, it looked like Terence Crawford got so emotional to the point that in the first couple of rounds, he wasn't even focused, you know, with the Kell Brook situation. And I think, and it was also the same thing with the Benavidez in the earlier rounds as well. So my thing is as long as Crawford boxes Shawn Porter and don't try to get into a slugfest with him, I think he can win this fight so damn easy. Now, if he put himself into the fire just trying to take his head off right away, I think he could make himself vulnerable. But I do have Bud winning the fight. If everything goes planned, I have him winning the fight unanimous decision, probably about 9 rounds to 3 or 10 rounds to 2.
Hey, Bo, can I speak something to Bo's point right quick? The point he just made. Yeah, Bo. I mean, like, it's interesting. You noted that, like, how Bud kind of got emotionally affected. I think with Benavidez and Brook, they kind of were talking shit. So, you know, they kind of they might have, you know, got into Crawford's skin and he just had to respond. You know what I mean? He's not the type to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? If you like chat shit to Bud, he's gonna put you in your place and do the same. But Crawford, I mean, but the Porter didn't really do that. You know what I mean? So like both guys were quiet, they were respectful because they are, you know, they are friends. They know each other for a long time. So it's like, you know, I mean, so in terms of emotion, I think Bud is not he's not emotional in this aspect. He's aware of what he has to do. His head is switched on, and you know, I don't think Shawn did anything to rile him up to take him off his game. He may have said that he gets emotional, but Shawn didn't really, you know, insult him or, you know, put him down or nothing like that to get him out of that headspace. And either way, even if he did, I don't think that's really going to affect him too much. So
yeah,
we just wanted to add that.
And Bold, do you see Bud going up to 54 or even with a win, like what I'm saying, after do you see him clearing up and then moving up, clearing out 47 and then moving up to 54?
Well, Yeah, I mean, he wants to clear out. He wants to be undisputed at 147.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a better chance at staying at 147 than going to 154 because you already know, like, you know, the other guys said they play politics, you know, with the PBC and whatnot. Now, let's just say if Bud loses, I actually think it's going to open up the floodgates for him because a lot of the guys that have been avoiding him probably going to want to step in the ring with him because basically Shawn Porter ain't nothing but a barometer. They're using him to see what weaknesses they can exploit in Bud. And if Bud shows some weaknesses, you won't see Keith Thurman come out, you know, his semi-retirement. All of a sudden, Errol Spence going to be like, "Yo, I want that fight." You know, like people going to be calling him out. The Charlos going to be calling him out. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, if he washes Shawn Porter, it's going to be hard. They ain't going to really step in the ring with him. None of them.
Yeah, well, he's kind of damned if he doesn't, damned if he don't, because he's the majority of the belts. If he wants to be undisputed at 47, all right, he can collect one off Ugas. I don't see that as a problem with whoever.
Chan, you know what a good example of what Bo just said is how like fighters gain confidence when they lose a struggle. I remember back in the 80s how Mike Tyson fought Tony Tucker.
Yeah. And then,
that was a competitive fight. Tucker gave him a good fight, and afterwards, Michael Spinks got too big for his britches and saying like, "Oh, I could beat this guy." What happened to Michael Spinks when he finally got in the ring?
Obliterated.
Exactly. So yeah.
Obliterated. Yeah, that could happen. But would he not still face the PPC? You know, them holding belts hostage with Spence.
No, I think the pressure is on Spence too much because it's been dragged out for 3 years. I think the fans will push for that fight. They'd be like, "Yo, Spence, man, like, come on. Like, we already done put up barriers for you. We done already told, you know, Crawford that he couldn't beat Kell Brook. He need to fight Kell Brook first. Yeah. And then we made an excuse after he beat him. And then we said he needs to fight Shawn Porter." Like Spence.
He's run out of excuses.
Yeah, he ran out of excuses pretty much.
Well, I already know Spence doesn't want the fight. I mean, I've thought that for the longest time. You know what I mean?
Hey, Bo, you have a lot of faith in these guys. You have a lot of faith in the witness protection program supporters. They're not gonna put pressure on them. They're gonna, "Yeah, man, you know,
there's gonna be an excuse."
Wow, I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna tell you like I told Shell. I'm giving you tomorrow's news today, Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow's news today. If Crawford beats this guy, beat the brakes off of him convincingly, you're going to see it's three things they're going to say. One, Shawn Porter had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. He was looking to be a commentator anyways. Two, Shawn Porter, Crawford beat Errol Spence's leftovers without even mentioning that Shawn Porter had 2 losses before Errol Spence got to him. And then 3, well, he still ain't all that. We don't like him anyway, so he got to go through Ugas first. So I mean, bruh, again, when people don't like you, there's nothing that you can do to make them like you. They are going to put the protection up even more. That's how I see it.
Coach, the PBC scholars have already got the students prepped for excuses. They've been doing this for the last 2 months in class. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. Today's lesson is, if Porter loses the fight, this is what we're going to tell the media. Yep. Okay, we're listening. And then there's more than that. They already got their excuses primed and planned out. I'm just waiting till Monday morning. I'm waiting till Monday morning or Sunday. You know what I mean? Till the day after the fight.
I feel that there's going to be some knockdowns, but I feel that Bud will knock down Porter 1 or 2 times. I've seen Porter obviously knocked down a few times, but I've seen Porter also be knocked down and get gifted that it wasn't a knockdown, and then the one that wasn't a knockdown deemed that it was a knockdown.
Didn't he get dropped in the Ugas fight?
Yeah,
he did, right? Yeah. That was a clear knockdown, and they didn't rule it as a knockdown.
And then one wasn't. One that was a knockdown wasn't deemed as a knockdown, and the one that was generally like a slip was deemed as a knockdown. So I'm ready to see that happen in the Crawford fight. I've seen Porter. Obviously, Porter is fought a southpaw, Spence, but I'm not sure if he's used to.
Well, he's never fought a switch hitter like Bud, though. That's for sure.
Bud's a switch hitter, and but what everybody does know is that if Bud is not successful in orthodox mode. He switches once he switches to southpaw.
Like he did the Brook.
Tells you that he's going to kill you. So
Yep.
I feel that Porter will be ready for this. The sign will be there that I'm not doing. I'm doing too well on him, and that's why he's switching to southpaw. Okay, then I have to then up my game. I'm not sure if Porter will be able to handle that, but I feel that Porter will be dropped. But I do think this is going to. At first, I thought Bud's going to stop him. I thought that for a while, but Porter is mad durable. He's mad durable. Whether he gets dropped, I think it's going to a decision, and I think it's definitely going to be a unanimous decision for Crawford. I think it's going to be something like 9 rounds to 3, in my opinion, because Bud is overall the better boxer. He can tag you. Porter, he will try and smother you like what Rock says, but he doesn't sometimes have clear and effective shots. They're not clean. They're not flush. I'm not saying that he won't score any clean and flush shots, but if you look at Porter's fights, they're not really flush shots. So I feel that that's why Bud will outbox him, outpower him, even though Porter is technically, supposedly, the more powerful one, because he absolutely did fight at like super middle in the amateurs, and he comes down. He's a much heavier guy than Bud. Bud is only just grown into his welterweight body. But yeah, I think it's going to be unanimous decision, 9-3 for Bud Crawford.
It's funny because I don't think that Shawn really hurt Earl in their fight, to be honest. He connected with punches, but I don't think he really hit Earl when anything to really bother him.
It didn't. This is what I'm saying. There was nothing that really, there was a couple, but literally a couple. There wasn't anything that really majorly thought, oh, Errol's in trouble, you know?
Well, he did hurt him to the groin. Because I seen a whole bunch of
you're right.
They did the dirty fighting. That's what they did. They both went into dirty fighting. Errol started to hit below the belt. Porter then obliged, but Porter was kind of still a bit more cleaner, but he did engage in some dirty tactics. Look, Michael Buffer says he sees a robbery. That could always happen. I'd hope not, and on any of the sides, I'd like it to be fair. LT needs to teach and preach UK boxers.
Guys, Ring IQ just put out a tweet. He said Bob Arum said that if Crawford wins, the Josh Taylor fight is next.
Well, that's what he's saying. But
Bob
said that in the interview. He said that in the press conference. But Crawford is a free agent, so I mean, I don't hold nothing what Bob says.
Is Bob talking like he's going to still have Crawford after? He's talking like he's still
check this out. People say that you can't believe nothing Bob Arum saying. He's the biggest liar in the world, right? So if we know this, why are we believing what he's saying now?
I don't. I just find it quite strange that he's singing Bud's praises what's the next fight? We'll give him Josh Taylor.
The first thing I'd have done last year when he was trashing him, saying like, "Oh, I'm losing. I'd rather buy. I'm losing money that I could buy my house with. I'd be like, okay, Bud, buy me out. I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, there was a reason behind that too, right? There was a reason behind why Bob said that, because the thing was the whole I can't get fights and you promised me to get this fight and whatnot, and I'm thinking about leaving and stuff. So that word got back to Bob Arum around that time, and I think that's why he said that.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is. Oh yeah, I do the super chat. Shout out to Thomas Jones. You can read it though. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on LadyChann.
Hey Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, coach.
$5 super chat. Great insights, LadyChann, panel, and chat. Thank you so much, TJ. Massively appreciated, King.
Hey, coach, can I ask you a question right quick?
Yes, sir.
What's the Hey Leroy all about? What's the reference to that?
that come from the Last Dragon. That's,
okay. I thought so. I just want to make sure.
The Last Dragon. When Shawn was beating Leroy ass, he said before they fought, he called him out. He said, "Hey Leroy," and he said, "Playtime's over, boy." And then they had to fight.
So that does it. Yeah, Broner did knock him down, guys. Broner did knock him down. So yeah, I was just I'm thankful for everybody's prediction and everybody coming through and giving me their prediction. And tomorrow, Mal will be going live, doing a live watch along. I might simulcast with you, Mal, or something, because I'm going to do one as well. Yeah, I'm going to do one as well, so we can simulcast and do how sometimes we do, which will be a lot of fun, and then we can get instant reactions. There's another super chat, Mal. There we go.
All right, where is it? You brought it up?
Yeah.
Where is it? I don't see it. Oh, hold on. My cup was right here. Sorry about
that.
Shout out the Spurs squad. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on LadyChann.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Spurs squad, thank you for the $5, as we say in the UK. Thanks for the $5. Deep water diver, Cockney, £5. Massively appreciate that sticker. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I was saying, so Mal's going to be doing a live. I'll be doing a live watch along. What time are you going live? Because I'm going live at like 2:30 a.m. my time.
I'm gonna go live. Whenever the fight starts, I'm probably gonna go live an hour earlier. I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna eat first. I'll probably do it early in the morning or something like that. Tonight? Yeah. I'll go live an hour earlier so we can rock out. Burn little trees, whatever.
Are you guys going live for the undercards? There's some good undercard fights.
I don't think I'm doing it complete. So I think the main fight happens for us between 4 and 5 a.m. So I'm going live from 2:30 a.m. So whatever's showing, then that's where I'm going to be.
Dogbo versus Diaz, y'all. That's going to be a war.
Oh, I like Dogbo. Oh, that dude, yeah, man. That dude can fight. That dude be fighting, man. He all of his fights are entertaining. I really like that guy.
It's a decent undercard. I'm not.
Oh yeah, undercard is decent. Yeah. Then we got Johnny Beck, Alan Kahuli. He's a rising middleweight. He's pretty much destroying everybody. Fights. He looks good. So
Falco was fighting tomorrow too.
Looking really good in the weigh-in.
Hey, Shane, I want to run somebody right quick. Now that I think about it, I think you're saying if Bud loses about the obscurity. I'm thinking about the welterweights. Like if Bud loses, I mean the welterweights have all of the belts. But if he moves up to 154, I mean the PBC have all of the belts. But if he move up to 54, the PBC still have all of the belts. So you get what I'm saying? Like,
you're kind of right. You're kind of right in a way.
What did you do? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So only because I posed that question to his to his friend that's in camp with him, Bernie. Bernie said he could make 54. He could make 54 and he would be willing to go to 54. 54 would be his cap, which I would have agreed. And I said that's the most weight that he would fight at, being the size and frame that he is. But he'd entertain going to 54. But like you guys are saying, it would still be a problem up there because PBC control 54 up there. So him signing to PBC, I don't think it's a good idea. But him not signing to PBC, it's a tough one for Bud. It's a tough one.
Shan, I want to say this before we wrap it up.
Yeah, no worries.
From what I saw from the weigh-in, I think Crawford has that marvelous Marvin Hagler mentality. What I mean, I'm not saying skills wise. I ain't gonna put nobody over the marvelous one.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the mindset. I cannot lose this fight.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
I cannot let this fight go to the scorecards.
Okay.
Hagler said that, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that no other fight I have go to the scorecard. I will not allow the judges to rob me ever again. So I think it's a mentality that he has to have. I have to beat this guy. The pressure is on me. I can't, and some people fold under pressure and some fighters excel under pressure.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. We're going to find out tomorrow what's what, who's who, and that's it.
And where's where,
tomorrow can't get here fast enough for me, man.
I know. For us, today, it's already Saturday for us in the UK.
Yeah, what you guys think? Would you guys think potential fight of the year?
Yeah, potential fight of the year.
Potential fight of the year, definitely. Yeah. And if we get a 6 stoppage or KO, it will definitely be in contention of KO of the year.
But if Bud does stop Shawn, that would be very impressive. I will say
very
that.
Impressive.
Very impressive if he stops.
I hope he does. I hope he does. What up, Jetstar? We're just wrapping up, my brother. We're just wrapping up, but we will reconvene tomorrow. Just check. I've got everything up so you can see when I'm next live. Mal, tell them where they can find you.
All right, LadyChann, as usual. Thank you so much for having. I was trying to, you know, talk to the chat. I like talking to the
Yeah,
chat.
we
We go
love
live,
talking
so
to the
try
chat.
to go
Yeah,
back and
it's all
forth.
good. It's all
But yeah, I definitely love your objectivity. I really do love that. You was right about that. You know, I'm like, damn, okay, welterweight, but I'm like, damn, PBC control both divisions.
Yeah, you're right though.
You know, so but yeah, you can find me. You can find me at New Media Today USA Boxing, guys. You can also find me on Amazon Music as well as Spotify. I have the podcast is on there as well. You can you know, follow me on Instagram at Coach Malachi Williams. And you know, we come on 7 days a week, 6 days a week mostly. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock UK in the evening time.
Right.
And hey man, you know, we're gonna have some fun. We'll burn some trees tomorrow, talk a little shit, and make it do what it do.
Yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, guys,
Woo!
thank you for coming on. I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat. Jeff Lucietta or Lucietta, Jed Kyle in the build Dizzin, Ronald Finkley in the build Dizzin, Sylvester, thank you for coming, Graham Taylor, that guy, Paul Evans, as always a pleasure that you join us each and every time. LaRon 9817, TJ, my guy, Ronald Finkley, my guy. Spurs Squad, thank you everybody for the super chats, massively appreciated. Spurs Squad as well. Thank you, TJ, for your super chat. Saint Quintas, thank you very much for coming through. Punch Perfect Boxing, that is one of our UK compadres, another boxing channel. Please subscribe to them. Go and check it out. Also, who do we have? Oh, so okay, you guys were Hector Garcia, mi hermano. Thank you for coming. Dragon Leg, thank you for coming. Philly Fly, thank you for coming as always. Keep it fly up, but you're not in Philly in the UK, but we, like Mal says, we love that name. The Axomium, which is a strange name, I hope I've pronounced it right. Daniel Rias, thank you for coming. Roland Curtis, thank you for coming. Bobby in the build, Dizzin. Antonio, my good moderator. Antonio Mosley, thank you for coming. Mark Tyan, thank you for coming. New Media Today USA Boxing, thank you for coming. Bold, thank you for coming. AJ All Day, aka Alex, thank you for coming. Shelton, thank you for coming. We had Spencer Fearon, thank you for coming. We had King Armin, thank you for coming. We had former undisputed two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Hassan Rahman, thank you for coming. They will be on the show as a separate show next week, so I've got them all as guests as well. So stand by, because the schedule for next week is fly. Who else? Daniel Rias. I said, yeah.
So sorry to interrupt you, but could I start a running gag on your channel?
A running
gag, a joke?
Yeah, of course you can.
Sammy,
thanks for coming.
This is the joke. Every time I get on a live stream, I'm going to call out Crypto. I know Crypto was in hiding. I mean, I don't know where he is, but
I've never seen him.
Yeah. I'm gonna call his ass out every time I come on these lives. Crypto, I'm looking for you. I'm here.
Yeah.
Where you at, bro?
We ain't gonna see him.
You swore on a stack of Bibles that Fury was gonna beat what, and Wilder was gonna beat Fury, and he didn't. So where you at, Crypto?
I've never seen him. Yeah, you know, there was like, where's Waldo and where's Wally?
Where's Crypto? Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're going to say. Wayne Fitness, thank you for coming. Yeah, where is Crypto? Yeah, he disappears. Charlo, thank you for coming, King. Sammy Ali, thank you for coming. Mike from Boston, thank you for coming. Will Lynch, thanks for your super chats and from the super chats from the last live that we just did. I did two lives within 2 hours. Thank you guys for still rocking with me. Debro, thank you for coming. Graham Taylor, thank you for coming. He was in the build Dizzin. Michael Buffer in the build Dizzin. Is that the real Michael Buffer? And let's get ready to.
Oh, your Ring IQ came on. Shout out to Ring IQ.
For a minute. Shout out to Julius Ring IQ. How could I forget you, Julius? Thank you for coming all day, every day. Jamel Kirk, thank you for coming. AV Sounds, thank you for coming. Spurs Squad, Hector Garcia, Ticaseta. Ghost, thank you for coming. Man, there was a few of you rocking out with us, wasn't there? Ghost, Christopher Germain, I think I said your name right. Hopefully I did. AJ in the build, Disney. Shouts out to Lisa Bales as well. I had prior engagement, but she did shout me in the first live. Thanks, Lisa. for for the continued support. And that is it, guys. And you know me, I have to sign off and say, anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann, but nonetheless, come box with Shan. Gyan. Thank you for coming. Mwah.
LadyChann. Fight.